The sun rose softly, spreading warm light across the tranquil forest where Buddha sat among his gathered disciples. He observed their eager faces, a blend of youth and weariness from life's trials. His serene voice broke the silence. "Let me share with you a moment from my past," Buddha began. "When doubt clouded my path." The disciples leaned closer, their curiosity sharp as the morning air. Buddha's gaze drifted to the canopy, memory drawing him inward. After leaving the palace, Buddha said, "I wandered through cities and forests, seeking answers to life's great suffering." His voice carried a cadence like the flowing river, calming yet unyielding. "In those years," Buddha continued, "I encountered a forest hermit who claimed mastery over death and rebirth." His disciples exchanged glances, imagining the hermit's ascetic presence in the heart of the wilderness. The hermit promised liberation through extreme austerities, Buddha said, practices that strip the body of its needs entirely. His words painted vivid imagery of self-denial in the disciples' minds. "For 6 years, I followed his lead," Buddha admitted, denying food, water, rest, pushing my body to the brink. His hands gestured faintly, tracing his long-ago suffering. "My body weakened, my mind sharpened," Buddha said, "yet the clarity I sought lay just beyond reach." His voice betrayed no bitterness, only understanding. "One day, a young village girl saw my frailty and offered me a bowl of rice," Buddha recounted. His disciples listened intently, captivated by the simplicity and profundity of his words. "I hesitated," Buddha admitted, fearing the rice would unravel years of sacrifice. Yet my body screamed for sustenance. His disciples felt the weight of that moment's decision as though it were their own. "The girl's compassion moved me," Buddha said, "and I accepted her offering, eating for the first time in weeks." His voice grew softer, as if tasting the long-ago sweetness again. "That simple meal restored my strength," Buddha continued, "and ignited an insight I had long ignored." He paused, allowing the disciples to absorb his words like dew-catching sunlight. "I realized suffering cannot be overcome by suppressing life's natural rhythms," Buddha said, his voice resolute. "Balance is the key." His disciples nodded, their understanding growing like roots delving deep into fertile soil. "This revelation led me to the middle way," Buddha said, "a path neither indulgent nor austere, but harmonized." His gaze swept the disciples, ensuring their attention held to every syllable. "Trust in life's ebb and flow," Buddha advised, "as each step of the journey offers lessons and grace." His disciples felt the truth settling within them like a stone dropped into still waters. "Today," Buddha said, "we practice trust through the breath, a steady reminder of balance and presence." He motioned for them to close their eyes, inviting calm across the gathering. "The breath is life's gift," Buddha instructed, effortless yet essential, guiding us toward alignment with all existence. The disciples followed his lead, inhaling deeply as the forest seemed to breathe along. "Feel its rhythm," Buddha said. "Inhale hope, exhale fear. Trust the pulse of life that sustains you." Their collective breathing became a symphony of renewal. Amid rustling leaves, "Release attachment to regret," Buddha encouraged, "and abandon fears of tomorrow, for only now holds true reality." His words were seeds, planted firmly within the fertile ground of their souls. "The tree bears fruit in its season," Buddha explained, "as our lives unfold with patient timing and purpose." His disciples envisioned themselves as trees, rooted in the wisdom of the earth. "I learned not to fear the unknown," Buddha continued, "but to embrace each moment's impermanence with trust." His voice wove assurance through the air, like golden threads of sunlight. "Trust rebuilds strength," Buddha said, "and with it, life's beauty reveals itself anew with every turn of the wheel." The disciples opened their eyes, faces softened with serene understanding. "Remember the village girl," Buddha urged. Her act of compassion saved me. Each of us can save another. His words illuminated their interconnectedness. Like stars forming constellations in the night, compassion opens the door to trust, Buddha concluded. As trust leads us toward freedom from suffering and doubt, a deep silence followed, broken only by the rustle of leaves above. Buddha stood, signaling the end of their lesson, and his disciples followed him deeper into the forest's wisdom. Beneath the Bodhi tree, the teachings continued, trust blossoming like petals unfurling in springtime. Life, as Buddha revealed, was a river, a flow that trusted its course, carving beauty from stone, carrying all forward. Another day, another journey through the village. Buddha walked with his disciples as the sun filtered through gentle clouds. The sounds of the bustling marketplace filled the air, a cacophony of life unfolding in its myriad forms. A beggar sat by the road, his hands outstretched, eyes dimmed by hunger and despair. The disciples noticed the beggar but hesitated, unsure how to approach him amidst the bustling crowd. Buddha paused, his gaze resting on the man, compassion emanating from his still presence. Do not look away, Buddha said gently, for this moment offers us a chance to understand life's interconnectedness. His disciples gathered around, their hearts stirred by the sorrow etched into the beggar's face. Buddha knelt beside the man, his simple gesture drawing the attention of those nearby. Tell me your story, Buddha asked softly, his voice a balm to the man's weary soul. The beggar spoke haltingly, his words laced with pain, recounting a life riddled with loss and rejection. Buddha listened intently, his silence offering a space for the man's burden to be shared. Pain binds us all, Buddha said to his disciples, but compassion has the power to unbind and heal. The beggar's hands trembled as Buddha placed a piece of bread in them, a simple offering of sustenance and hope. A child approached, offering the man water from her clay jar, inspired by Buddha's act of kindness. Every act of compassion ripples outward, Buddha said, addressing his disciples and the growing crowd. It is a light that illuminates the darkness within us all. Buddha then began to share a story from his own journey, drawing his listeners into the folds of his wisdom. Once, during my wanderings, Buddha began, I encountered a wounded bird, its wing broken by the arrow of a hunter. I could not bear to leave it, Buddha continued, so I sat beside it, tending to its wound with care. His disciples listened closely, the image of the wounded bird taking shape in their minds. The bird's suffering was not separate from my own, Buddha said, for its pain reflected the vulnerability we all share. His words stirred the hearts of his disciples, planting seeds of understanding and empathy. I nursed the bird until it regained strength, Buddha said, and in its healing, I found peace within myself. He paused, allowing the weight of his story to settle among his listeners. Compassion is not merely an act, Buddha said. It is a way of seeing the world through the lens of connection. The beggar, who had been silently listening, now wept softly, his tears a release of long-held sorrow. To trust life again, Buddha explained, we must open ourselves to the pain and joy of others as our own. His disciples reflected on his words, their hearts expanding with newfound understanding. Let this beggar's suffering not be a burden we turn away from, Buddha urged, but a call to our humanity. The crowd, moved by Buddha's words and actions, began to offer food, coins, and kind words to the beggar. The world is a mirror, Buddha said, and every compassionate act cleanses the reflection we see of ourselves within it. The beggar, now surrounded by kindness, smiled faintly for the first time in years, hope flickering in his eyes. Buddha stood, signaling to his disciples that their journey through the village would continue. Carry this lesson with you, Buddha said, that compassion is the root from which trust in life grows. His disciples followed, their spirits lifted by the profound simplicity of his teachings. As they walked, Buddha's voice carried wisdom that lingered like the scent of flowers on the breeze. When we give without expectation, we receive more than we could ever imagine, he said. Compassion is the bridge, Buddha explained, uniting the fragmented pieces of our world into a tapestry of shared humanity. His disciples, inspired, began to see the faces of strangers not as separate but as reflections of themselves. Every being carries a story, Buddha reminded them, and within each story lies a lesson waiting to be embraced. They passed through the village, their hearts softened by the beauty of connection and understanding. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow, Buddha led his disciples to a quiet clearing. Let us meditate on compassion, Buddha said, allowing its light to guide our thoughts and actions. The disciples sat in silence, their breaths synchronized with the rhythm of the evening breeze, embracing the lesson of the day. Buddha's voice, steady and serene, offered guidance as they meditated. Feel the interconnectedness of all life, Buddha instructed, and let your heart expand with love for all beings. The clearing became a sanctuary, a space where compassion flourished and trust in life was renewed. Release judgments, Buddha said, and see each being not as flawed but as part of the whole. The disciples felt their burdens lessen as they opened themselves to the beauty of existence. Compassion transforms, Buddha said, turning suffering into strength and division into unity. The evening grew darker, but the disciples felt a lightness within, a reflection of Buddha's teachings. Trust grows when we act with kindness, Buddha concluded, and through trust, we rediscover life's inherent beauty. The disciples opened their eyes, their faces glowing with the peace they had cultivated. Tomorrow holds new lessons, Buddha said, but today, you have sown the seeds of compassion. Nurture them with every thought and deed. The clearing echoed with the sounds of life, a reminder of the shared journey they were all part of. Buddha stood, his presence a beacon of hope and wisdom, and led his disciples back toward the path. Life, as Buddha revealed, was a tapestry woven with compassion, its threads strengthening the fabric of existence. Another day, another lesson beneath the crescent moon. Buddha led his disciples to the riverbank, its waters shimmering softly. They gathered close, the sound of the flowing river filling the night air with tranquility and rhythm. Acceptance brings wisdom, Buddha began, his voice steady as the river's current. Let me share a moment that shaped my path. The disciples' anticipation grew, their minds open to receiving another pearl of enlightenment from their teacher. During my meditation beneath the Bodhi tree, Buddha said, Mara appeared, testing my resolve with illusions of fear and desire. His disciples shuddered at the thought of Mara, the embodiment of temptation and distraction. Mara conjured visions to unseat me, Buddha continued, images of power, wealth, and armies bowing at my feet. His voice remained serene, a contrast to the turmoil he described. I did not resist nor flee, Buddha said, but smiled, acknowledging Mara without yielding to the illusions. His disciples exchanged glances, marveling at the courage such acceptance demanded. Resistance breeds suffering, Buddha explained, but acceptance brings clarity, enabling us to see illusions for what they truly are. The river's gentle flow mirrored his words, steady and unrelenting. I invited Mara to sit beside me, Buddha said, offering neither hostility nor submission, only peaceful acknowledgement. His disciples pondered this act, finding the wisdom in his calm confrontation. Mara's power diminished, Buddha continued, as my acceptance revealed the truth. Fear and desire hold no control when seen with clarity. His words resonated deeply, their meaning like the steady beat of a drum. Life is like this river, Buddha said, flowing where it must, carving paths without resistance, shaping the earth with patience. The disciples observed the river, its timeless journey unfolding without struggle or defiance. Acceptance is not surrender, Buddha emphasized, but a recognition of life's impermanence and the wisdom to navigate its currents. The disciples absorbed his lesson, their hearts opening to the beauty of acceptance. Each of you carries burdens, Buddha said. Grief, longing, disappointment. Let us reflect on them and embrace their presence. The disciples closed their eyes, their minds turning inward to confront their personal struggles. Acceptance transforms, Buddha said, turning pain into understanding, and challenges into opportunities for growth. His disciples breathed deeply, feeling the weight of his wisdom settling within their souls. Release judgment, Buddha encouraged, and see your struggles not as failures, but as steps on the journey toward wisdom. The moonlight bathed the gathering in a gentle glow, illuminating their reflections. As Mara tempted me, Buddha explained, I learned that resistance magnifies suffering, but acceptance diminishes it like shadows retreating before the dawn. His disciples felt their burdens ease, their minds embracing the peace of acceptance. Trust the currents of life, Buddha said. Allow them to guide you, shaping your path as water shapes stone. The river's gentle sound seemed to echo his teachings, a harmonious accompaniment. The present moment is the only reality, Buddha reminded, and acceptance allows us to fully inhabit its beauty and lessons. His disciples opened their eyes, the clarity of his words shining within them. Trust grows through acceptance, Buddha said, and wisdom blossoms like flowers in springtime, nourished by life's impermanence. His voice carried assurance, weaving calm through the gathering like a soothing melody. Let go of fears for tomorrow, Buddha urged, and regrets of yesterday, for they distract from the gift of now. The disciples nodded, their understanding deepening with each word. Imagine this river, Buddha said. Its flow cannot be stopped nor rushed, but trusted as it journeys forward without hesitation. His disciples contemplated the river's course, finding parallels to their own lives. Mara taught me a great lesson, Buddha reflected, that acceptance is the path to freedom, the key to life's wisdom. His disciples felt gratitude, their spirits buoyed by his teachings. As we meditate tonight, Buddha suggested, focus on the breath, a constant reminder of life's ebb and flow. The disciples closed their eyes, their breaths blending with the rhythm of the flowing river. Acceptance breathes life into wisdom, Buddha said, allowing us to navigate suffering with grace and trust in the journey. The night deepened, the stars twinkling above as silence embraced the gathering. Feel your breath, Buddha guided. Inhale the truth of the present. Exhale the burdens that tether you to illusions. His disciples followed, their collective breathing a symphony of release and renewal. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, Buddha reminded, but acceptance equips you to face them with strength and clarity. The disciples felt a calm resolve, their hearts touched by his wisdom. Trust is born through acceptance, Buddha concluded, and in trusting life, you will find freedom from suffering and fear. The river flowed on, its steady current a timeless testament to the wisdom of acceptance. Buddha stood, his presence serene and unwavering, and led his disciples back toward the path of life's lessons. The gathering dispersed, their spirits renewed and their trust in life restored by Buddha's teachings. Life, as Buddha revealed, was a river, a flow that could not be resisted, only trusted and embraced with wisdom. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.